them all what I'm made up. Strut down the hall, won't stop till I get enough.
Okay, let's jump right in. We're looking at this pretty incredible story, right?
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney, huge Hollywood names, obviously. And they've taken this non-league football club.
Wrexham,
yeah. A team that was, well, kind of stuck. And now they're basically one step from the Premier League, all in just 4 seasons. It really does sound like, a movie script.
It absolutely does, that perfect underdog narrative. And that's what we're digging into today. We've got this Reuters piece that just came out detailing their latest promotion.
Right.
So the plan is to unpack how this impossible dream, as they called it, is, well, maybe not so impossible anymore.
Okay, so let's start there with that phrase, impossible dream. Where did that actually come from? The article says it was Reynolds who used it, but the idea itself, that started with McElhenney.
That's right. McElhenney apparently brought the initial kind of crazy idea to Reynolds, but it wasn't just about football, was it? At least not initially.
No, the article mentions that their first thought was actually making a documentary.
Exactly. But, and this is key, the piece points out that even right from the start, that big, audacious goal was there.
The Premier League.
Yep. Reynolds voiced it early on, aiming for the absolute top of English football.
Which, well, you think about where Wrexham was 4 years ago. People must have thought they were joking.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
A few raised eyebrows, definitely. Which makes their progress even more staggering.
So let's talk about that progress. This Reuters article covers the latest win, 3-0 against Charlton Athletic. Big result. What does that mean practically?
That win, well, it sealed their 3rd promotion in a row. So next season, they're playing in the championship.
The championship. And, just so everyone's clear, that's the league right below the Premier League.
Exactly. One single step away from the top flight.
It's genuinely hard to grasp, isn't it? Compared to, like you said, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
The article calls them a non-league team going nowhere.
Stark contrast, yeah. From going nowhere to the brink of the Premier League.
So what's behind it? What's the magic ingredient here?
Right.
Obviously, there's money involved, but...
Well, yeah, the investment is definitely part of it. You can't ignore that. But what really jumps out from the article is how involved Reynolds and McElhenney are.
Right. They're not just names on a letterhead.
Not at all. The article specifically says they're not absentee owners, and it gives concrete examples.
Like Reynolds being at the Charlton game on Saturday with Blake Lively, his wife.
He was there. And apparently he made some comment in New York about the stress giving him an 8-inch ulcer.
Wow. Okay, so he's feeling it. That's not just a casual interest then.
Doesn't sound like it. And McElhenney, too, the article mentions he gave a pregame speech before they beat Blackpool.
Oh, interesting.
And he'd spent the whole week before that in Wales, actually, with the team. That's proper hands-on stuff.
Yeah, that's more than just showing up for the big moments. That's being embedded almost.
It suggests a real commitment, doesn't it? Not just phoning it in.
And then the celebrations after the Charlton game, the article describes them on the pitch, giving players giant hugs.
Yeah. That paints a picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Real shared emotion, proper connection.
How crucial do you think that visible, genuine connection is for the team, for the fans?
Oh, it's huge. Absolutely massive. It builds that feeling of, we're all in this together. And you can see how that's helped Wrexham's popularity just explode.
Right, the documentary effect. Welcome to Wrexham.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The article says it skyrocketed their fame, not just locally, but everywhere. US, UK. It makes the whole story relatable.
It puts faces to the names, tells the story behind the scores. And it seems the owners really respect the team's part in this. There's that McElhenney quote.
Oh, yeah, about their job being just to show up and watch this incredible football team.
And this incredible story continue to unfold. It's quite humble in a way.
It is. It puts the focus on the players, on the journey itself. And Reynolds kind of echoes that, doesn't he? Talking about the players' own emotional investment.
He mentioned seeing how gutted they are after losses. Said it showed their grit and the mettle. Right. And his line, it means everything to them. That resonates, Because it means everything to the fans, too.
That shared passion. It feels authentic, which makes it even funnier looking back.
At the start.
Yeah. The article mentions that initial press conference 4 years ago when they said Premier League. Apparently there were titters and laughter and giggles.
Yeah, people literally laughed at the idea.
Which just highlights how well, how improbable this all seemed to go from being laughed at to this point.
It's genuinely remarkable, and they still seem to have that sense of humor about it. The article mentions a funny exchange after the Charlton win.
Oh, yeah?
McElhenney was like, right, when do we start thinking about the championship? And Reynolds joked about having to erase his whiteboard plans already.
Yeah, classic. And didn't they do a mic drop?
They did at the end of the interview.
Yeah.
And then Reynolds apparently had to sheepishly pick the mics back up.
Love it. It's those little human moments, isn't it? Makes them seem less like distant billionaires and more like, well, people enjoying the ride.
Exactly. Like fans, almost. Which probably explains why the actual fans seem to appreciate them so much.
You mean the applause mentioned in the article? At the end of the Charlton game?
Yeah, the crowd at the racecourse ground apparently turned and applauded the owners in the final minutes. That feels significant. It's not forced. It's genuine appreciation.
Okay, so wrapping this up. This deep dive, based on the Reuters piece, it really paints a picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wrexham's journey under these two. It's this potent mix.
Yeah, it's the ambition, sure, but also the money, the storytelling through the documentary, and this very real, very visible connection they've built.
Taking them from that impossible dream to, well, almost there.
Almost there, on the cusp of the Premier League, which, again, just 4 years ago, the article says it was unthinkable.
Truly unthinkable. It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. What was the absolute key?
Right. Was it just the cash injection? Or was it the power of that narrative, the welcome to Wrexham effect? Or maybe it really hinges on the owners being so genuinely invested, so hands-on.
Or, most likely, some combination of all of that, hitting at the right time.
Yeah. And it makes you think, beyond football, what other massive, seemingly impossible goals could be reached? If you have that same blend, vision, resources, and that very human touch, what else could be possible?
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have the ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.